Hello lovely people. This has been a relatively straightforward week for me. I've got exactly 7 perfumes here. I didn't really stray much from what I was wearing on the day. And I had a full week at work. It was quite busy. I had a little bit of a vanilla kick, but then I had a few things that had kind of started sneaking in last week. So we'll start with this guy. I think by far, well, maybe not by far, but I mean, overall, my favourite vanilla. This is the one that made it into my top 20 for life. This is Eau Duelle from Diptyque. This is the EDT. I have both of them. I really like both of them. They're very close to each other, but there's just something about the EDT that I think is just absolutely perfect for me. It's a green, aromatic, lightly spiced, non-gourmand vanilla. That's what I love about it. I think it's really beautiful. My bottles are all from eBay because I do like to get a bargain. Oh, I mean, I just love wearing this one. And I love how it dries down. I love that I just get a very light waft of like a sugary sweet sheer vanilla on my skin. I like that this one has like a kind of a watery tea in it. It's just so pretty. And I also really love that with this one, even when I'm not too aware that I'm wearing it anymore, it's still definitely there. And if I get in the shower the morning after I've worn this, I get this beautiful sweet vanilla kind of coming out, you know. It's like it reinvigorates it when it hits the hot water. So it's just so magical. This one is bourbon vanilla, elemi resin, juniper, cardamom, pink pepper, olibanum, black tea, bergamot, ambergris, musk and saffron. I do sometimes think that part of the joy of this one is that there is that, I'm not sure you would be able to really pick out ambergris, but I do think like just a hint of something slightly salty when it's with a vanilla, as long as it's not too much, because I can't deal with like a fully salty vanilla. But just to balance it, I think it's really beautiful. I mean, I guess it's the same with food, right? If you have something very vanillic that has nothing salty to balance it, it's sometimes just a bit sickly. Same with chocolate cake, all that kind of thing. Let's see. So, obviously, I love this. It's amazing. In fact, the top 3, oh my God, that I wore this week, just so fantastic. I'm wearing this all the time. This is kind of I mean, this is definitely a bit of an aromatic vanilla as well, to be fair. This is my Mon Guerlain. This is the intense version. Intensely reflective, am I right? Let's put it like that. A bit of a weird angle, but it'll be okay. So this is, I've heard some people say there's not as much lavender in this one, but I kind of feel like it's got the same amount of lavender as the original, but because there's so much vanilla, it doesn't feel as strong, if you see what I mean. But I love the lavender in these perfumes. It's one of the things that I really love about this range. I just love lavender. So this is lavender, mandarin orange, bergamot, mid notes, Tahitian vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, iris, jasmine, sambac and rose, base notes, coumarin, patchouli, licorice, benzoin, Australian sandalwood and white musk. You guys know what this one is. I wear it all the time. People talk about it all the time. It's just amazing. Let's make a bit of space because this next one is a bit hefty. So, like I said, I was on a bit of a vanilla kick. I have a feeling I wore all these like one day after the other. So, I'll just have a quick sniff. Yeah, it's really got a similar feel to it, I would say. They're not identical, but they definitely have some crossovers. So, this is Lalique Le Parfum. Again, another one that's going to be super reflective. Let's go that way because it's so pretty, this bottle. So, Lalique Le Parfum definitely has a similar kind of vanilla, well, just a generally similar vanilla to Eau Duelle. Yeah, like this kind of Eau Duelle is slightly tangier. It has that kind of slightly salty element, which I really love, which is why I think this is my number 1. And this might be I mean, if I'm considering the Mon Guerlains as like vanilla perfumes, I really put them as my favourite ever lavender, but they're also quite vanillic, some of them. So in a way, some of my favourite vanillas. But this is probably my second favourite actual vanilla. Try not to knock everything over. If you can hear madness in the background. That's my husband and my stepson playing games next door. Yeah, this one doesn't have that saltiness. It's not quite as tangy. It's a little bit more floral, but the actual vanilla here and the slightly spicy and green aromatic qualities means that when I wear it, it is quite a similar feel to Eau Duelle. I mean, I'm not in any way saying this is a good dupe for Eau Duelle, but I think that if you're on a budget and you want something that's in the same kind of wheelhouse in terms of the gentle, sheer vanilla that you get, and the kind of, like I said, the aromatic and spicy elements, Lalique Le Parfum is just such a good price. It's such a beautiful bottle. It's just fantastic. And I think this one's getting slightly, not massively, but ever so slightly darker since I first got it. And now I have a small little dent in it, as you can see. It's so beautiful. It's really classy, this perfume. I do feel like it smells... I'm not going to use the word mature because I don't think that it does. And I haven't come across a huge amount of vanillas. Like only the like properly vintage things like Casimir and Tocard. You know, when they're very ambery, for instance, I think they often smell a bit vintage, or if they're very, very floral. But this is so delicate. It's a very beautiful but subtle, sophisticated scent, I think. If you're going to go for a sophisticated vanilla, then this one I think is really, really good. And it kind of fits into the wheelhouse, you know, because I also like... Burberry Goddess is probably one of the most vanilla-y vanillas I really like. But I think if that didn't have the ginger and the cacao, I'd be way less interested in it. So Lalique Le Parfum is West Indian Bay, pink pepper and bergamot in the top. The mid notes are heliotrope, almond and jasmine. The base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, sandalwood and patchouli. So I don't get loads of patchouli here. I'm not a patchouli lover. I also don't get tons of patchouli in the Mon Guerlain Intense. I feel like they're so nicely balanced that I'm not getting like a scratchy patchouli. What I get in this is definitely obvious pink pepper and West Indian Bay in the top. Now, I also don't normally like pink pepper, but it does not bother me in here the way it does in Lalique Satine, which you will see. I've got a review coming up of that one soon. But I love the bay note in this. I love a green aromatic note. Really interesting, very unusual scent. But this for me has definitely a very recognisable heliotrope. And you get a sense for almond, even though it's very sheer. This is not a creamy perfume. And then a little bit of jasmine. So I can smell the florals here. But for me, heliotrope is the thing that comes through the most. And... It's like a sugary, sheer, non-gourmand vanilla. It's super pretty. So yeah, I really enjoyed wearing this this week. Eau Duelle is one that I find myself reaching for quite a lot just because it is such an easy wear for me. Because it feels like my vanilla. Like it really does feel like a vanilla that's like designed for someone as fussy as me. But this one... When I put this on, if I'm in the right mood, I love it as much. It's just that I'm not always in the mood for heliotrope. Like heliotrope is something that sometimes I find a little bit, sometimes a bit too powdery, sometimes a bit too lotiony. Same with like almond. I have to be in the mood, but it's just so beautiful. All right, big bottle come in. So this is my hefty bottle. I quite often show my small bottle of this, but this is my 100ml. My husband chose, well, he didn't specifically choose this. We were having basically having a lazy bed day with movies and stuff. And I said, I gave him a choice. I said, I can go sweet, I can go fresh, or I can't even remember what it was. I'd chosen a bunch of perfumes that I kind of fancied wearing. And I just gave him the choice of the vibe. And he said, let's go for fresh. I probably said fresh and spa-like, and I put this on and he just loved this. Like, I love it as well. This is Elizabeth Arden green tea. It's one of my favourites. I can wear it any time of the year and it smells incredible. I sprayed it all over me and then I got into bed. And the thing is, it's not overwhelming to wear in bed because it is so much like being in like a spa. It's so fresh, light. It's a bit zingy. It's really herbal. It's so calming. I understand why people wear this one to bed. And I have tried the lavender version of this, but the thing is, because it's like my favourite green tea, but then it's got lavender in it. I just don't like it as much. I'd just rather wear green tea personally, but I know that some people really like the lavender version of this. I can see why people wear it to bed. I can see why people wear it for sports and for the gym. I can see why people wear I like it first thing in the morning. I like it at all times of year. I'm obsessed. It's beautiful. So we have lemon, bergamot, mint, orange peel and rhubarb in the top, jasmine, musk, oak moss, fennel, carnation and white amber in the mid, green tea, jasmine, musk, oak moss, celery seeds, caraway, cloves and amber. It's not the most long lasting, and I think specifically in warmer weather it doesn't last a huge amount of time, but I do find this one lasts quite well in winter, and it's obviously it lasts quite well on clothes, but I could really smell this on my skin all day. I do spray a lot. That's the thing, like you've really got to go ham with it. But yeah, my husband was loving it as well. He thought I smelled delicious. And then I reminded him that he also smells delicious in this because he has worn it before. So good. Another vanilla. So here we go. I needed to get in there with this one because I realised that the weather's been so up and down. I didn't want to leave it until it was going to be too warm for me to wear it, because I can't wear this in warm weather because it's too strong. But, another spicy vanilla. This is Lord of Misrule. This is extremely deep and rich. You can probably tell from the colour. I'm just looking at this and thinking, has this got a bit dark now? Let me just go in on here. Might be my hands doing that on my dress. So, Lord of Misrule from Lush. A very simple combination. Well, I mean, I say that. It sounds simple. Black pepper, patchouli. It's a special type of patchouli, but it's not listed on Fragrantica. I think it's called Sumatrian patchouli, and vanilla, and it's obviously vanilla. Personally, the patchouli comes across a little bit earthy to me in this, but also slightly minty and herbaceous. And then the black pepper just gives it this warmth. It's not. I don't smell this as being like super peppery. But, I mean, I'd almost get a vibe that there's maybe amber or something in this. I don't actually think there is. Maybe it's just my brain because it's such a dark ambery colour. But it has a depth. And, like, I'm trying to work out if the word I'm looking for here is resinous, because it's an unusual smell, but it's a masterpiece level smell. I've never smelled anything that smells like this before, or and I don't expect to, really. Like, it's a beautiful sweet vanilla. It gets more vanilla because it dries down on your skin. It starts off smelling quite green. It's definitely a little bit pungent, but it's also very, very magical. Super unisex. I think I've said before, but I just really like the shower gel of this. Although, and I have seen this in the comments, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to warn you about this now, because I get this with the shower gel, but I do not get it with this perfume. But some people do. Some people think this smells like mould, mould and mildew. And I do think that is the earthy patchouli that's going on here, because sometimes on certain days when I use the shower gel, the bright green shower gel of Lord of Misrule, I get a little bit of that weird, slightly mouldy smell. I never get mildew, but I can see the comparison to like a weird mouldy smell, because like I said, I get that in the shower gel. Not all the time, just occasionally, certain times of the month. But I've never found that with the perfume. I've never sniffed this or worn it and thought it smells like mould. But some people do. So this is not one to blind buy. This is one you have to go and put it on your skin in store, walk out, walk around with it, see if you like it. It's definitely not a safe blind buy. It's an unusual perfume, but I mean, even more unusual if you're not used to Lush. This is definitely not where to start with Lush, I don't think. But I love it, and it was beautiful, and I really enjoyed it, and I didn't need to reapply it all day because it's so strong. It's getting stronger and stronger, actually, the longer it's been with me. All right, then we're veering off into a different direction, because I maintained the cherry love just for one day last week. I think I was talking to someone in my comments about this one, because someone commented and said how much they love it, and I was like, yeah, I need to wear it more. And they were saying they don't know why people don't talk about it more and why it's not more hyped up. And to be honest, I agree, because Of all the cherry perfumes that get hyped up, this is like the nicest one I've smelt. Like in terms of just, if I just want pure cherry, I love this perfume. This is Sweet from Lolita Lempicka in a beautiful bottle, of course, gorgeous. I love Lolita Lempicka's bottles, even though some of them are like so kitsch, they're so pretty. So Sweet, let's try and lighten that up a bit. Sweet is just very sugary cherry, and there is a hint of sourness, but it's mainly sweet cherry. It does in a way, because some people say it's synthetic, but I rarely come across a cherry, especially red cherries, that doesn't smell synthetic. I'm trying to think of a single red cherry I've ever smelt that doesn't smell synthetic. I think they all smell like sweets, and I don't mind that at all. This one is sour cherry sugar in the top. Not sour cherry sugar, but sour cherry and sugar. And then the mid notes are cacao, iris, and angelica. The base notes are musk and cashmere wood. So it's a chocolate cherry perfume, and it's magical. This one, it definitely has a plasticky feel to it, and that is deliberate because it's got that makeup-y feel. But rather than smelling like an actual lipstick, it has a cherry lip gloss accord. That's what it said in the actual Lolita Lempicka description of this perfume. That's what it said on the carded sample when I first got one of those, a cherry lip gloss accord. However, I think this texturally feels more like a cherry lip balm. It's got that kind of ever so slightly waxy feel about it. God, it really catches the dust, this one. It's a nightmare. But it's tangy because it's that sour cherry while also being so sweet. This is another one my husband really likes. Oh my goodness. Loved wearing that. It was so fun. It's one that I often wear around Christmas time, and I don't necessarily think to wear it other times of the year, and I don't know why. I guess it's because in cold weather I'm more likely to reach for the Mon Premier or the Lolita Lempicka Le Parfum, you know, because I want a reason to wear those very sweet, kind of strong and interesting perfumes. This one is very sweet, but it's not like, I don't find it very challenging. It's not like the most interesting. It's just a delicious sweet cherry with a hint of chocolate. I love it. So I really enjoyed wearing that. It's so delicious, and it's so affordable as well. Okay. All right. So then, in a dramatic change from all the other perfumes that are here, I wore this little cutie. This is Cerruti 1881. I used to have, if you've been with me for a long time, you might know, I used to have a really big, what's it called, a tester bottle of this, and it was just like this. It was 100 ml that was like this. And I did manage to make a little dent in that one, but to be honest, I really like this bottle and I really like this lid, and I just wanted one that could go in my display. And because I have so many perfumes, it made more sense for me to sell the big bottle and buy a new little one. So, I mean, I only have a tiny dent in this one, but this is so pretty. I was just in the mood, and it gave me the idea to make another video. So, coming up sometime before the end of this month, we've got basically what I think are my best value affordable perfumes, and it was inspired, that video, by Ceruti 1881. Ceruti 1881 is what I'm trying to say, because this is a perfume that I think is from, it's either the late 90s or early 2000s, and it smells like it. This smells like those kind of perfumes, like the Noahs and the Oxygens, you know. It's got that feel that smells very 90s, because it has that classic 90s musk, like that sweet bar soap creamy musk. And this one also has a load of flowers and a load of really soft powdery wood. It's so pretty, but it's very again, like, the word mature is always taken the wrong way, but if I smelt like a teenager wearing this, I'd be like, oh, that's an unusual choice for a teenager. I'd normally expect teenagers to smell like The Body Shop or Ariana Grande or something like that, you know? Fruity, normally. This is a much more grown-up kind of scent profile to me. But it's so comforting for that. Like, it's the sort of thing that someone who gives good cuddles would smell like. But this is going to sound weird, but in a kind of someone who gives good cuddles but wears dresses that are kind of a little bit sexy, like floral, but a little bit sexy. And I think that's the musk that makes me think that. It makes me feel very feminine and ladylike, but also kind of silky in a way. And maybe that's the powderiness. Maybe it does smell like this colour would suggest it would. So this has in the top notes, there's so many notes in this again. Like I said, it's from that era where they told you every single thing that they put into a perfume. So this is mimosa, iris, rose, freesia, violet, lily of the valley, jasmine and bergamot in the top. And then the middle notes are chamomile, iris, narcissus, galbanum, geranium, coriander, jasmine, Brazilian rosewood, orange blossom and tuberose. Woo! And then the base notes are musk, sandalwood, cedar, vanilla and amber. So for me, there's definitely a noticeable mimosa in here. I get loads of chamomile in this, which I love. A little bit of iris, definitely some galbanum. There's a little bit of a greenness. There maybe I'm not really getting violet from it. I imagine because freesia does often when it's with musk go a little bit kind of lotiony. There's maybe a hint of rose, a hint of freesia. There's definitely mimosa, chamomile and iris. I'm not getting loads of jasmine and lily of the valley. I'm not smelling the bergamot or the violet. But I'm definitely getting that Brazilian rosewood and a bit of sandalwood and a lot of musk. When it dries down, I get that vanilla coming through a little bit. And if you know what Christian Dior Dune smells like, or Dune as I would normally call it, it has the same kind of beautiful rosewood scent, or note, I should say, that you get in that one. It's a very different kind of scent overall because this is floral, feminine. I feel like Dune is a little bit more, how to say, like, it can lean a bit masculine. It's much more unisex. It's much more woody and it feels sandy and warm. But this one, this just has that very soft, powdery rosewood scent in there. But yeah, overall, I do think of this as a floral musk. Like that's how that sits in my brain and it sits with my musk perfumes. So yeah, I just think really beautiful. It lasts all day. You do not need to respray this perfume. It is a beast. On me anyway, but you know, always have to give a disclaimer that the way it performs on me is not necessarily going to be the way it performs on you. But I just think it's so beautiful. And if you like the idea of like a floral musk that isn't sharp, because this one's quite sweet. And yeah, I often get put off when things are a bit screechy, and I don't think there's anything screechy in this perfume. I did see that they'd bought out another one quite recently, but I decided against getting it because it's got some kind of oud in it, or maybe akigala wood or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I think it's like a rose and oud style perfume, and I'd love to smell it, but I'm not going to blind buy that because that is too much of a risk for me because I'm already fussy about rose and I don't like oud. So I was like, but this one, I really enjoyed wearing it, and it's been a long time since I wore it, so I was really happy to break it out. It's one of those that I really have to be in the mood for because it is so bar soapy, almost lotiony, and it's powdery and it's floral. It's like all of the things that I need to be in a specific mood for, but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I didn't have a single dud this week. I didn't wear anything I didn't like. So not that I should, because I should like my collection, but I didn't have any misfires in terms of not being in the right mood or it being the wrong time of the month or it being the wrong weather or whatever. All of them were amazing. Oh, I'm just going to sniff this one more time. Oh my goodness. It's like, it smells a bit like home to me, I think, this, because it's been with me for so many years. I think in terms of like my perfumes, the one that reminds me the most of childhood is Skin Musk, but this one, because I remember when it first came out and I had it, and I've had it on and off for most of my life. Yeah. There's something very comforting about green tea. I just love it. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I'm trying to think. I'm going to put a couple of more makeup-y videos up, but again, I'm going to put them on other days, so there'll be extra videos, and you can totally ignore them. It's just, I think, I did a black honey alternative one, a Clinique black honey alternatives, and it was quite popular. And I think some people found it helpful. So I'm going to do a couple more things that are basically just filling in the gaps where I've been looking for videos that are helpful about this, especially for UK makeup, UK available makeup and affordable stuff. So I'm going to do a couple more of those. But obviously my normal days, Wednesday, Friday and my Sundays are all going to stay with perfume. I don't do makeup very often because I don't really bother too much with it. I'm not like a makeup person. But there's just a few things that I've been really enjoying recently, and I thought, because I've had to search for things I actually like and actually work and give me the effect that I was looking for, I figured I might as well do little videos of those. So you might see a few extras pop up, but fear not, I am in no way putting my foot into actual proper makeup YouTube, because it's not my thing. But this week coming, I think I might actually be having my best value affordable perfumes coming up this week, and then I've got an affordable haul the week after, I think. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy all the stuff that's coming up. I'll be back with another one of these next week after my birthday, and let me know if you've got any of these. Let me know what you've been wearing this week. Let me know if you like any of these or if you hate any of these. But be respectful. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please do consider subscribing, because it really helps my channel, makes a massive difference, and it helps other people find me. I think likes make a difference as well, but I've never entirely understood that. But thank you to everyone who supports me. It's wonderful, and I do still love this hobby. So here's to a lovely, if a bit cold and very grey week coming, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye guys.